Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's Figure Friday. We have something different today. I found this at my local Walmart, so we will see how this goes. As you see, I've already put two of these together, which is very helpful because I was trying to understand the instructions. These are licensed by Hasbro. I don't know who blokees is. I don't know where they're from. I'm going to guess in China from my understanding here, but I could be wrong. So please just bear with me on that one. It is an interesting take. So these are non-transformable transformers. These are they're not Lego sets, but they're kind of like mini model sets. This is actually a really good set for younger kids trying to get into models. You get to build a nice little action figure. They are nice and posable. So here we have Ratchet here. I can kind of pose him around a little bit. And he has the hands that move. It comes with a stand. You can take him off the stand. We can get him to do like the nice kicks and all that. So, I mean, it works out pretty good. But I did want to get one put together, and it's really nice the fact that I've already put a couple of these together, so it does help. And trying to get these instructions in view here. There's some commonality here. So when we first put it together, it has some very similar pieces, and then we add on the rest. And there are, I believe, six or so different transformers in the lot that you can get. So it just kind of works out from there. As you can see, we have Ratchet and we have Skywarp to begin with. So let's get going on our next one. This comes with two different bags as we open up a box. So this one's got all the different pieces in there, and then this one is our base and our start for our hinges. So we'll try and do that here. And as you can see, I'm not on my pool table, so it's a little bit different setup here. Try and get this done as quick as we can. So we have more dark pieces. So I don't know what transformer we have. So we do have a couple sprues here. And it works out pretty good. These do separate pretty decent. You just kind of wiggle them back and forth. Works out pretty good. And the sprues are identical. So essentially you have two sprues. And they do come with the hinges that we're going to have for our elbows as well as for our knees. And then it's got one piece here, which is actually for our shoulder. And this is a generic piece. I don't know how, I'm trying to aim this here. I don't know how well you see it here. One side, it actually has the Autobot symbol. And when you flip it around, on the other side, we do have the Decepticon symbol. So that one looks like it's the Autobot. So that means that that's the Decepticon. And kind of looking at this, I'm not in the best lighting here, so that doesn't really help either. Okay, so I'll set this one off to the side. Let's get the next one kind of done up here quick. And it doesn't take long once you figure out the whole rhythm of doing this. But when I first did it, I think I took twice as long. I think it took me about 15, 20 minutes because I'm just trying to understand what I'm doing. And the first time through, it did take a little bit of time. So it's kind of nice to be able to see how this works. And we do have two different types of hands if you want them closed-fisted for holding on to one of the rifles, or I've got Skywarp here. He's actually holding one of the faces, and he's got the Decepticon symbol facing out here. So we have that going. All right, so here's our sprues all kind of separated. So what I'll do is I'll get my hinges together. Trying to see things through here. Those are my shoulders. And then we want to get our joints together. So we got one. It doesn't take all that much, and these do kind of click together. You don't really hear it. It's not that pronounceable of a click, but they do kind of click together, and you can kind of feel that when you get them put together here. So hopefully I'm doing this the right side. It feels like I am. My fat fingers trying to get this to sit together correctly. And I don't know why, but I'm having issues with that one. I better leave that one be for the moment. I'm doing something wrong here. Actually, it almost feels like this one's kind of deformed or something, which would be a first for me on this. There we go. Now we got it all snapped together. It was a little deformed, but not too bad. We were able to get it all salvaged and all together here, which is the important thing. And it's actually the same side. Of course, I will say this, there's a possibility with me trying to mush this together that I could have been the one that deformed it too. So let's not put it on them. I'm not looking that close because I'm trying to look over what I'm doing here. And I'm liable to make mistakes too. Okay. Now, I do want to say that these were just under $5. So they weren't that expensive. So when I first saw them, I was like, you know what? I think I'm willing to take a chance on this. So let's try it and see how we do. And I put this one backwards as a first. I said I'm not in the best lighting here, so I'm doing this. And okay, so we got our 4 hinges there. Then we have the bigger bag. So we'll dump this out, and this is where we really find out exactly who we have. I see some red. Actually, it looks like I might have prime here. Or, nope, I'm going to guess this is going to be Ironhide. Looking at it, and we do have a clip here, so I am right. It is Ironhide. So you can kind of see how that goes. So he's going to look very much like Ratchet there. So as we put this together, we do have a base body. And then as I look through, we have the bottom of the torso for our legs. And like I said, for our shoulder units here, that snaps on. So these, like I said, are kind of like small model units. They work out pretty good. Put the front piece on. And like I said, I've put a couple of these together, so that makes this a lot easier trying to figure this out. Because when I was first trying to do it, I'm scratching my head and trying to figure this all out. We do have a joint to pop in there. That's for the head. And then when we get the legs together, we'll get our feet. So, you know, sometimes it's easier if you start off the feet on our base, but it all depends on how you like to do it. I'm going to do it just because it's simple, easy, and then I have the peg part here. Oops, that actually goes in that way. You hear a little snap. See, there's the face. There's another one of our pegs for our ankles. That's in there. Okay. Now we have our bigger pieces for our legs. So there's the front and the back. Kind of snaps together here a little bit. And then there's our ankle and our calf. And because I do have a couple of these, we'll get some of these out here. Some of them might end up just being on like a short or so. But I wanted to get the first one in as a figure Friday so we could see how this goes. And then these just kind of snap in here. And you do need to get them to snap a little bit. Otherwise they can fall out a little bit. So there, here, a little snap in there. So works all nice and happy. And then we have our knees, or our, not our knees, our thighs here. And this is all kind of a common setup. So once you get going on one, you start figuring out how this works for all the others. So, and then you notice this has got some open here. So we have pieces, and then these are usually the same on both sides. So here's that, and then here's my other one. Kind of covers up all of his hinges there. So that works out pretty good. Then we have our arms, and then the arms have shoulder pads. Let's see here. This actually has grooves in there, so that's what I'm setting it in. And then you have to kind of snap it in there. And then we have our lower arm. Again, when that snaps in, there we go. And if I put it over on this side here, then I can figure out which hand I want in there. Thumbs up. So give him this rifle there. And this is doing it a little differently, seeing that we're doing it in a different spot. There we are. Than what I normally do. Have him pump his fist up in the air like he just won some victory of some sort. And then we have the face. Now the faces, in some regards, I thought they would be different for all of them. But one of the things I've noticed is the actual faceplate itself is pretty similar between all of them. And this is small enough, it really doesn't look all that bad. And then it's just putting the helmet on. So one of the things I'm going to say here as we look at this is there is the ability, if you wanted to, so we could put this on here and it looks like he's shooting out something, or you could leave it off, all up to you. If you wanted to make your own, if you have duplicates, you could very easily change out your helmet and maybe some of the other pieces, and you can make your own kind of Frankenstein version. Or if you want to consider more in that same vein, maybe the one that they use for Spike. Because if you're an old classic watcher of the old cartoon, they had Spike who had to have some surgery done or whatever, and his body needed to heal, and they transferred his brain over into an Autobot that was constructed by Wheeljack and Ratchet, and it was kind of like a Frankenstein's monster. So, you know, it gives you that ability. So it is something fun and interesting. You know, for $5, it's a nice little model set. Like I said here, and I'll try and get that up here so you can see blokees. I don't know exactly how you want to pronounce that. Transformers Galaxy version. This is Series 1. We do have two different covers. We have one with Optimus Prime here, and then we have one with Galvatron. Or Megatron, I'm sorry. Not Galvatron. We're not up to there yet. But either way, they're all blind boxes. So you get to put them together and figure out exactly which one you get. I've got 3 of them together so far. It's not bad. Like I said, the first time I was doing it and I had Skywarp and I'm trying to figure out exactly how it goes. It was a little bit more challenging, but after doing this a little bit, it did make it a little bit easier. So it is a little bit of fun. It's getting to put things together. For me, it's a small little model, somewhat kind of like doing a Lego, but you know, it's still a little bit of an action figure. So it works pretty good. They look pretty decent. I mean, they're a little thicker in some spots, but that's perfectly fine for this type of a setup. So With that, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.